Welcome to ScratchStart. In this session, we are going to see a stopwatch. How we can create a stopwatch using the DOM. Stopwatch is the regular stopwatch, like you see in the digital watches. Like when I click start, the timer starts, and when I click stop, it stops right there. And when I set reset, it will come to default. So that is what we are going to do. And I have already written the HTML and CSS structures as I already do for all the tasks. So now we will write the JavaScript. Now first we will identify everything, all the elements. I am creating time display, selecting it by document, get element by ID, and the ID is time. Next, for the start button, selected by document, get element by ID, and the ID is start. And then for stop button, selected by document, get element by ID, and the ID is stop. Then finally we have the reset button. Selected by document, get element by ID, and the ID is reset. So now initially we have to declare the initial values. Like for example, we have three variables here for seconds, minutes, and the hours. So for each the initial state of each of these variables will be 0. So for that I am creating three variables called seconds, minutes, and hours. I am declaring each value as 0. All the values are 0. So and we should the loop this program task we are going to use the setInterval method. So for the setInterval method we should have an interval. I mean, in how much interval we are going to operate the loop. So initially the interval will be null, so no stopwatch is running, and the initial values are also 0. So I am declaring let interval equal to null, and then I am creating a boolean function value. I simply is running, and initially it is not running, so it is false. So first I am writing a function to update the display, just to update the display value. So for that I am creating a function called update display, and here we have already assigned seconds, minutes, and hours. So I am just reassigning it. I am creating h equal to hours and m equal to minutes and s equal to seconds. So what we are going to do here is as you have seen in the previous tasks too, when the hour, minute, and seconds values are single digit numbers, we have to add 0 before that. So that is what we are going to do here. That means if hours are less than 10, h is equal to 0 plus h. In the same way, if minutes less than 10, you will have m equal to 0 plus m, and similarly if h is less than 10, we have h is equal to 0 plus h. So now for the final display, we are going to change the type displays text content as h plus colon, plus we have then minutes, and we have another column, and then we have seconds. So that's all. Now we will write the logics for the code for the buttons here. So for that, we will first start with the start button. For the start button, I am connecting the start button variable and giving add event listener, and the event here is click, and it's execute a function. Okay, for that we have to, I am going to write an if condition here. Initially we will have the all the values counter as 0. So for that, the statement the is running is false, that is the default. So is if running is equal to false, then we should change is running to true. Wait, here I made a mistake, spelling mistake just now. So we have to change the is running to true, and then I am creating a new variable called reusing the interval here, interval, and setting and giving a setInterval method, and I am creating a function for that. What this does is the seconds will be 0, right? So if that is true, the running is false, it changes to true, and the interval function changes seconds to seconds plus 1. It will add each second plus 1 each time, and then we have to change, if seconds is 60, we have to change the minutes, right? Change the seconds to 0. That means it will restart next minute, like it will change 1 here, and it will again start from 0 for the next minute, right? That is what happening. And it will change the minutes here to minutes plus 1. We have to change for the minutes too. Now we have changed the seconds. Now if the minutes is equal to 60, then it is an hour. Then we have to change the minutes to 0 and change the hour to 1 plus 1. Hours equal to hours plus 1. So, and also now we have to write the interval. So it is for each second. So I am giving 1000 milliseconds. So when I start, so for next we will write for the and finally we have to update the display. That is why when I click the reload, it is not coming. So we have to include the update display function too. So now the display will be updated. So when I reload again and click start, it is not changing because I haven't wrote yet things yet. Then for the next buttons, so I am not changing it. So next for the stop button. Next for the stop button, I am collecting the stop button, giving add event listener. The event is click and give it a function. And inside that function I am using if logic. That means we have to stop, so if running should be true by default. If that is true, we have to change the is running to false. Is running to false, and before that we have to clear the interval too, right? For that I am using clearInterval function and using the interval value, the global value we have declared on the before in the in the starting of the code. Like this is the global value. It can be used anywhere or it can be reassigned in any function too, and it will change the and it will be like unchanged, anything. It will be used anywhere, and it can be changed and altered. That's why we are using let here, and it is a global function. So next we have the reset button. For that, select the reset button, give an add event listener. The event is click, give it a function, and inside the function here everything should be back to normal, so I am giving clearInterval function, give it an interval value variable, and it should become seconds is 0, minutes is equal to 0, and hours is also equal to 0. So it will bring to default state, and is running should also be false. It should be 0, right? And then we have to update the display. So that's all. I reload and I start. And that's all. We have done the stopwatch. When I click reload and when I click start, it should start. See, the timer is start running and everything is on. And when I click stop, the seconds should stop, the timer running will stop, and when I click reset it will back to 0. So that's how we do it, and this is how we do the stopwatch. It is not mostly used in website creation mostly, but it can be used for giving announcements and other things. I am doing it just to understand the setInterval functions, and we will also go to the next functions, async functions too. This is a setInterval, also an async function, like asynchronous function, but we will go deeper in that. And so yeah, that's all. This is a stopwatch, and consider like and subscribe and sharing if you like my work, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will